So, we are about to find out what we're doing today. Let me see everybody's cats are back here. We notice these microscopes. Show me connection if you came in and you noticed them. Okay? Show me a connection if you came in and it took a lot of self-control not to be doing our do now like this, trying to look back there. I see a lot of connections, okay? I saw some of you guys doing this. So thank you for that self-control, those of us that did this, even though we wanted to do this. Alright? Now, these microscopes are a really big deal because I have 14 working microscopes, which means each table of partners is going to get to use their own microscope. Can I get a yes?
Yes!
Alright, now, these microscopes are super fragile. That is a big detail, okay? What, Jasmine?
I'll tell you what it means.
What it means?
Fragile.
What does fragile mean?
It's easy to break.
Easy to break. Now, here's the situation. I see connections. If we have 14 microscopes, and we know they're fragile, and one of them breaks, what do you think is going to happen? You can tell me. Thank you for the increased engagement and destiny. Okay, I'll have to replace it. But something else that could happen too, because there's multiple things that will happen. Thank you for maintaining good posture, guys. Hey, Emily.
Something else that can happen is that if it breaks, everybody does like the whole crowd might get in trouble because it's one week of
Okay. Might get in trouble as a whole crowd. Might lose our microscope privileges. Another thing. There's another thing that may happen. Oh gosh. Remember, silent says. Summer, what might happen?
What might happen is Miss Kilgallen might take away your paycheck dollars.
Could take away paycheck dollars. That's very true. I see connections. What is something else? Jasmine, I already called on you, but I see you're super zesty. What do you think might happen?
Another thing that might happen is that we won't get to do equal projects or further too.
Okay, we might lose them for a while. What else might happen? I see connections all over the room. Jordan.
What else might happen is that she might call our parents and we might have to start the school. Or either
I'm just going to stop you there because that's going to happen if something's broken. Okay? And there's one other thing that might happen that would affect us in the future if I decided to give you the ability to do a lab unit. Do you think you know what that is, Bryson?
No, I got another.
Okay, so what might happen? Other than, is it that you could get hurt? You could get hurt. Okay, that's a big one because they're made of glass. What's another thing that could happen, Alex?
You might get kicked out of class.
Okay. I'm talking about our ability to, that could happen, but I'm talking about our ability to do labs in the future. What is going to happen? Other than they might get canceled. Marissa.
Next time the class is allowed, you aren't allowed to use the equipment.
Okay, that could happen. What else? There's one more thing I'm looking for. Summer.
What else could be in it could not only affect us, but it could affect our younger prize.
Could. So I'm going to tell you, it could affect your younger pride. Show me connection if you also had this in mind. Because it could affect our pride, the entire pride, and other prides. Because if right now I have just enough microscopes for every 2 teammates to get one, and then one microscope gets broken, all of a sudden now, instead of having 2 to share, how many have to share Shakira? Not one. We had 2 partners sharing one. Now how many people have to share it? How do I have to do my group now? You can tell me. Antoine, what's going to happen? Okay, so if I go from 14 microscopes to 13 microscopes, what is the impact of that?
Somebody might have to share, like, an extra person is going to be the one to do it.
We're either going to have to start having groups of 3 or potentially a group of 4. That is going to greatly decrease your microscope time. If all of a sudden we go from having this pair of partners and this pair of partners, now all of them have to share the same one microscope, it's okay if that was our plan, because sometimes I'm not going to have enough slides for everybody to have a slide. Bring it back if you're getting distracted. I want to make sure you get to stay working with a partner. It is boring if you have to wait for 3 other people to see the slide, okay? Now, back here, there are 3 kinds of microscopes. For the last 2 days, we have used this microscope. This microscope plugs into the wall. It has an on and off switch right here, okay? To turn it on and off, you use this. Microscope bulbs are very expensive. They're not just like regular light bulbs. You have to buy them from a specialty science store, okay? So, when we carry these, okay, 1, we have to make sure we turn them off when we're done using them, okay? 2, when we carry these, we hold them by the neck and the base, okay? This is the neck, this is the base, okay? Same thing on these little ones, okay? Neck, base. And we do that so if we have 2 hands on it, it's harder to drop. So I hold it by the what and the what?
The neck and the base.
Okay, now, to turn this one on, you flip this light like that, okay? And notice I did it very gently, because if you do that, like you're spinning something, it's gonna break, all right? It took me about 2 hours and 45 minutes to get these fixed yesterday, because if you'll notice, they're very, very small, okay? And so all the little screws are small, all the light bulbs are small, and I had to fix the majority of them to get them to work. So in order to make sure that we can continue each getting to use one microscope with one other person, we got to keep them safe by being gentle with them. Antoine. Some of them I got from Donors Choose last year. That's the 2 big ones. Some of them, these ones were already in the 5th grade. And then these ones I actually had to borrow from 7th grade. So let me tell you about these ones now, okay? Now, it has a button that can go 3 ways, okay? We are only going to use this bottom light, okay? And when we use the bottom light, we are going to make sure that it's just the bottom light, okay? If you use the top one, it's going to wash it out, meaning it's going to be harder to see the picture, okay? So we're using the bottom one. When you put it in the middle, it turns off. So, who can tell me how to turn each one of these on? I need to know for each of the 3 types of microscopes how to turn it on and off. It's on.
For the first one, on the first one, there's an on and off switch, and for the second one, you gotta flip it gently and the light comes on, and you gotta flip it the other way to turn it off. And for the third one, there's the button, so you touch it and then it goes off and you put it in the middle.
Okay, and what light do we want on? The one on the top or the one on the very bottom? Okay, question right now. When I go to return my microscope, should the light be on or off? Common sense.
Off.
Okay, so I need to tell you what we're looking at. Let's look up here. Okay? We're looking at the very bottom of this paper. So at the very bottom of this paper, you notice the circle. I just turned it up. I need you to make sure you do not have penguin arms, okay? I just turned it up 2 degrees, okay? So it should be warmer fast, but right now, I need you to make sure you're looking down here, okay? So at the very bottom of our paper, right here, at the very bottom where this blank is, we are going to write corn root tip cells. Corn root tip cells, because that is what we are about to observe. Okay, at the very bottom of the front, so right here. If you are stuck, you don't know where to write, your caps are on me, right here. Okay, corn root tip cells. Now when we look at a corn root tip, we are talking about a corn plant. The roots are into the ground. They cut the very tip of the root off, and that's what we're looking at. When you're done, flip your paper over so I know that I can give you the next thing to write down. We are going to write on the line at the very, very top, okay? This is a little different from the setup yesterday. So make sure you're paying attention. At the very top of the back, I want you to write onion stem cells, okay? So right here, onion stem cells. Who has ever seen an onion growing? Show me connection, okay? Who has ever had an onion at their house and it ended up sprouting? Show me a connection, Okay? So what happens with onions is they actually have a sprout that will come out of the ground, or if it stays in the house for too long, the onion will start sprouting, and you'll see a green tip that comes out. So just like with a pine needle, they cut a little section from the middle, and that's what we're looking at. The last thing we're going to look at here is called a tilia. Not Talia, not Talia, but a tilia. Okay? So this one here, part C, we're going to write on the third box, okay, on the third circle, there's a line above it, and we're writing Talia stem cells. And you can raise your hand if you need help right now knowing where that goes. So, a tilia, Bryson, can you look at Sanaya's paper? Okay. So, right here, this tree, I want you to show me a connection if you've seen a tree that looks like this in your life. Okay? Show me a connection. Alright, so you can keep writing. Now here's the situation. These trees are very common in the South, okay? So I had really never seen so many trees look like this until I moved to the South, because I grew up in like Maryland, D.C., and Northern Virginia, right? It's too cold for these beautiful trees. We have trees, but they look kind of like a lollipop, right? They go up and then they have the leaves. These ones are special because the leaves start lower to the ground. They took the stem of a leaf, they cut a section of it, and it's going to look like that, okay? So the stem is what's connected to the branch, and then there's a leaf. We're looking at the stem. Josiah, Jordan.
What tree is that?
It's a tilia tree. It has flowers on it. All right, we got to move on so we can maximize our time. Now, when I say go, no matter where you are, well, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to give you an instruction on what microscope to get, and then when I say go, you're going to get up from your seat and go get it, and you're actually going to walk in a circle to go get it. So let's say I'm sitting on this side of the room. I would walk out and around, okay? From here, I walk out and around, and then I loop through to go back to my seat. And the reason for that is because if we all are going whichever which way, and we have these delicate microscopes, we could bump into each other more easily. Antoine.
One person go?
One person. So the person sitting at the even numbered seat, check now if you're at an even or odd seat, okay? The person at the even numbered seat, in a moment, will be coming to the back to pick one of these up. Okay, cats are back on me. When we are working on this, you are going to get to see 2 different cells today. Tomorrow we will see the third one, and if we earn it, we will make our very own slides with a special plant that is in this mystery box that I will tell you about later. Okay? So, in a moment, I'm going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you which microscope to get if you're an even-numbered partner. And then what will you do? You can describe to me. This is the last thing I need to double-check with you on. Dejalu. And the?
And the bottom.
And then what do you do? How do you get back to your seat? Go in a circle. Perfect. Now, when you get this, you're going to make sure that you are using the littlest lens first, okay? You use this little lens, okay? Some of you guys will have red, but the littlest lens first, okay? You can go little lens, then you can look at the next one, and then finally the last one. If you're at one of the plug-up microscopes, you're not going to do that, okay? You only keep the littlest one. And you'll use this knob to adjust it. So to start, you need to be on the littlest lens, the shortest lens, and you need to adjust it with the knob. Where do you start? Actually, this is the last thing. Sanaya. And then what do you use to adjust? Perfect. All right. Who's ready? You can say me. Who's ready?
Me!
Tristan, you're not ready? Tristan, are you ready? Are you ready? Tristan, who's ready? Can you say me so we can move on? Okay. Didn't require comment. All right. Number 2, get scope A, so you're working back there. Okay, C2, you're working at that microscope. See, so 1 and 2, you go to scope A and you stay there, okay? 3 and 4, you go to scope B and you stay there, and I will help you with it when you need help, okay? So 1 and 2, you're there, and 3 and 4, you're there, okay? You can move as soon as I tell you. 6, get scope C, 8, D, 10, E, 12, F, 14, G, 16, H, 18, I, 20, J, 22, K, 24, L, 26, M, okay? 28, you are going to get scope L. No, 28, I'm going to talk to you in a minute. All right, ready? And go. We are at 6 inches. Jordan, this needs to go underneath your seat. You're welcome. What number are you? All right, 10, you are E. 6, you are C. Okay? K. 28, come get K. Antoine, did you get yours already? Oh, you're okay. Bring your paper. Guys in the back, you need your paper. Okay? Oh. Question.
It's something in here. What? Oh, that little nut.
Are we working?
Okay, there's so much in there. Is that what you're doing? It's different. It's green. Onion tail.
You're excited. Are you excited?
Look at that.
Are you bored? Okay, good. Awesome. Yes.
I need to see the lights.
Okay, are you looking through? Make sure that it is clicked all the way. Did you click it all the way?
Yes.
Okay. Did you adjust it?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the problem. Do you see how your green thing is quite over the hole? You just move your slide a little bit, and then you should be able to...
Oh, nice. That thing is Miss Kagaya, like one of those things.
Aw, that's so sweet. I appreciate that. I think it would be interesting to be a botanist, to like study plants, because I like plants a lot. All right, so you guys, it's pretty basic what you're seeing, okay? So go ahead and draw what you're seeing, okay? And then what we're going to do is, when you have a different microscope, you're going to be able to see how much clearer the picture is, okay? So tomorrow we're going to discuss how the different microscopes... Which one is this? This one? Oh, hey guys, go to 0 real quick. You don't have to stop working, but I want you to listen, okay? In case you didn't figure this out yet, when you are recording what you're looking at, you just need to look at the very edge of your slide, okay? The very edge of your slide has some words on it, okay? And you are just going to take and figure out where you need to draw it based off the words, okay? Cool. Go ahead and keep working. You can get 6 inches. Good. Oh, here. Teammates, please go back to 0 really quickly. I forgot to tell you something. We're not at 0 yet. If you have a microscope, one of the ones that has the, you guys are fine. If you have the teeny microscope, you're fine. Go back to work, okay? If you have one of these, some of you guys have a little needle-looking thing. It's like a little black needle. I see some connections that's pointing to something. That is basically the same thing as if you had an arrow, okay? It's not part of the slide, so you don't have to worry about drawing it, okay? Thank you.
Oh,
Can't see it? Okay, here. You can now use the card out. Oh, and you know what's another card? I can see a little bit. All right, guys. You are going to spend 1 more minute drawing and you need to draw and make quantitative and qualitative observations, okay? So let me see that happening for the next 1 minute, okay? From here to here. Is it focused right now? Alright, you want to see bigger? Okay, so you use the stop right here. You notice I'm using this turning thing. The silver part, I'm not pushing this because this can break, okay? So you can go from little to big, okay? Or medium, okay? And then you would go like that to get the finish, okay? So you get there. You may need to adjust it a little bit bigger, right? You see more detail? It's cool. And then you can go even bigger on the blue one. It's really zoomed in, right? Yeah. Let me see. How did you get that? What did you change?
No, that was like a real sale.
You guys are honest today. I love it. All right, 30 seconds to finish this one. We're adjusting our volume. Ready?
You can really see it.
All right, guys, for a second, whenever we go to move on, you're just going to swap, okay? So you guys go there.
Can I see how
I'm so glad. I'm glad you guys All right, we're going to go to 0 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Cats are on me. I need to tell you who you're swapping with, okay? So your hand is off the microscope, your eye is off the microscope, your cats are on me. I want to see you touch that microscope. Show me self-control. I have almost 100% of us there. You have more time to write in a minute. I'm waiting for 2 teammates. Okay, so you guys already know what to do. Okay, here's what's going to happen. Summer. You all have what on your slide?
We have the cilia sim.
You and you guys are going to swap. Do this now, okay? You guys have corn, and you guys have what, Deja League?
onion same.
I want you two to swap, okay? Over here, I want you guys, what do you guys have? Cilia, and you guys have onion, or corn. Swap, okay? You guys have what? Corn, what do you guys have? What's them? Corn, what do you guys have? Corn? Okay, here's what's going to happen. You guys swap with, what do you guys have?
Oh, that's what you see.
Oh, okay, so just change this part here. So you guys are going to swap with you guys, okay? And you all will swap with, Antoine, did I have you guys swap already? Did you guys swap yet, Destiny? You guys and you guys swap, okay? You guys have corn? You guys have corn? Okay. I'm going to create your slide out. No, you guys are fine.
What does it look like?
You guys are going to look this next. You're trading microscopes. Trade microscopes with each other. Okay? And hold it. Grab it by the edge of the old school picture. All right, I see a lot of magic happening. Let's make sure we are at 6 inches. Yeah, did you trade? Did everybody trade? Did you trade? Raise your hand if you didn't swap. Okay, I'm going to trade your slot. How much you go to the back? Okay, Kelly, you just down the round paper towel, and you are going to get a paper towel. Are you ready? Are you up to it? You sure? Okay, so look by that. Alright? Be gentle, go swap. On the brown paper towel. Yeah. Always start with the littlest lens, okay? And then go up to the bigger lens. Same picture? I gave you a different slide, right?
Let's try to see if
It does. Here's what you can do. Sorry. I know you're already started drawing it. Did you notice the green? Look at it. See it? Look at this back, this bottom corner. I see you drew it on here. You see green?
This one you have a tree.
It's like I makes it seem like my eye is in it.
It's just your eyelash because it's a magnifier.
Oh.
And you have beautiful long eyelashes.
This one be a tree.
I can't do it with my right. I've never. It's funny that you noticed that. I've never done it. Are we on the littlest one? There we go. Here we go. This is what I wanted to look at. There you go. Look in there. You see how this is? No. What working now? Good. How are you? Okay. All right, guys. We have 2 more minutes of work time on this one. So you need to have your observations getting written and your drawings getting done. I love the volume that BJ is using.
Oh, I see some stuff.
We have 1 more minute of work time. I can see that you are finishing up your observations. Oh, those big blue dots.
I got that.
I don't know. What is the outside part of the pencil called? The wall. What's the inside part, that blue thing called? What's the big pepperoni? Big pepperoni is what? Nucleus. Science. Don't put that key down here and then you get. Just a big yeah. Oh, your slide wasn't on it. Here we go. Check this out. There we go. Look. Okay.
Right there.
The green part's what I'm looking for, right?
Well, I can see it.
The inside black part. It's really easy. It's a big pepperoni.
And what am I supposed to do with the edge of this?
Yep. All right. I need you to take 10 more seconds to finish writing your observation. There's going to be one that's blank. Yes. Okay.
When they're looking at the
I mean, they should be able to see the cell phone, but I didn't tell them.
am I right then? Am I looking at right there?
Yeah.
Okay. So these ones aren't like super detailed.
Okay, cool. That's what I was wondering. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, cool. So, guys, you can see the little square thing in there, right? What's that little, you know, the square shape? There's like a little square and then the inside part is black. Look in there again, okay? You see these little, it looks kind of like that, but then it's green. Do you see that? Okay. What is the inside part? Well, it looks like it's so. What's the inside part? All right, I need us to go to 0 now. Our hands are not on the microscope. Our eyes are not on the microscope. Our pencil's not in our hand. Okay, completely at 0. Thank you. I'm waiting for every partner pair to show me this. Cats are on me. Okay, what we're going to do, when I say go, we're going to make sure that we're walking the even number partner. Oh, wait, we're going to have everybody stop it. The even number partner is going to turn off the microscope, walk out and around, and come return their microscope in the correct place. Okay? This is happening at 0. The other partner will go ahead and clip this lab back in their binder, and then they may continue working. Go. This is at 0, guys. Okay? Quick, quick, quick. I'm going to give you your homework. As soon as you get that, you may put that away as well. Thank you, Deja Lee, for remembering to walk in a loop.
Wait until the end of class and go during competition.
Are you sure? Okay. I was very clear about my expectation. Do not disappoint me now by showing a lack of maturity and not being at 0. Thank you, Terrell, for holding up expectations. What do you need? You need to wait until I give you that? Thank you right now, Eli. Your table for making sure you are passed up. I see that my microphone is put back tightly. Can you raise your hand if you didn't get homework, please? Your hand is up high if I did not give you homework. This is enough. There should be no talking. I've said it 5 times. Thank you. I appreciate those of you that are doing what you need to do. Let's make sure we hold everybody accountable. Alex, Josiah, I need you guys to move your table back to this much. Here, I need you guys to move your table back about this much, okay? Because as you guys push in throughout the day, they get pushed. I see Summer. On. Would like to do another lab tomorrow. Okay? There's no total. Alright? There's only 11. Okay? Okay? Make a real small, not a big one. still a ton of noise. I know who it is.